All right, welcome into Golden State Warriors today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior. Hope all of Dub Nation is having a great week. A loaded show coming your way. We're talking Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, and a possible free agent acquisition. But first, if you think the Golden State Warriors are winning back-to-back championships, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. This roster obviously well-equipped to do so. We begin with Kevin Durant, and I know a lot of you don't want the Warriors to trade for KD. I'm in agreement with that. I don't think that the Warriors need to trade for Kevin Durant. They're coming off a championship in which they just hoisted the Larry O'Brien trophy without the services of KD. But this is one of the biggest storylines in the NBA, and when you look at the betting odds, the Warriors still one of those teams talked about as acquiring KD. So we'll get you caught up on everything going down on the Durant front. According to The Athletic, Kevin Durant reiterated that trade request to owner Joe Tsai in a meeting last week. Charania breaking the news earlier this week. Durant said that Joe Tsai must choose either him or the pairing of general manager Sean Marks as well as head coach Steve Nash. So KD basically putting Joe Tsai into a corner, and the Nets have basically engaged with almost every single team in the NBA. And I wouldn't be surprised one bit if the Warriors have also made a call to at least see what the trade package would be. Now, what's interesting about this is that Joe Tsai is backing up the employees in which he hired in Sean Marks as well as Steve Nash. And he's not giving into this Kevin Durant trade request. So things could get a little bit interesting over the next couple of weeks with NBA training camp coming your way in September, because Joe Tsai tweeted this out late on Monday night. Our front office and coaching staff, they have my support. We will make decisions in the best interest of the Brooklyn Nets. Basically, not Kevin Durant. As for the teams reportedly interested in KD, according to Shams Charania, it includes the Boston Celtics, as well as the Toronto Raptors and the Miami Heat. But what's interesting, you take a look at the Kevin Durant trade ideas, which team has the third best odds? It's the Golden State Warriors at 4-1 odds. What does that mean? You place $1 on that bet, and KD ends up getting sent back to the Bay Area for a reunion, you win $4 in exchange. And all of the teams on this list, they can put together a pretty nice trade package for KD's services. But I think it's become clear over time that the Warriors are content. Bob Myers has said as much. I want to see what we can do with this roster running it back. And it's hard to disagree with Bob Myers, considering how the Warriors were able to grow last year, get better and better. They got off to that hot start. They hit a little bit of a lull. Then they ended the regular season strong. And in the playoffs, they were terrific, especially against a really good team in the Boston Celtics. So I don't want the Warriors to trade to Kevin Durant. I don't think they need to trade for Kevin Durant. And I don't think they are going to trade for Kevin Durant. Still, though, people will bash me in the comment section. Where will Kevin Durant start next year? Speaking of the comment section, I want you to get your votes in. Look into your crystal balls. Predict it for us. Where do you think KD will start next year? Give me a team name in the comment section right now. To another player on the Brooklyn Nets, in Ben Simmons, one net to another, exposing FanSided's take that said that Ben Simmons is the Warriors' most logical trade target during this offseason, and it's not Kevin Durant. Now, obviously, Ben Simmons' trade value is at an all-time low right now. He didn't play at all last year, and mentally, he's soft as charming, but he is a really good player when he is on the floor outside of his unwillingness to shoot the basketball. So we go to that FanSided article. This coming from Tony Pesta, Blue Man Hoop Group. I mean, they do a good job covering the Warriors, but I just disagree with their thoughts on Ben Simmons here. But here's what they said. Golden State has to figure out a better way to either keep Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, and Draymond Green long-term, or a trade to ensure they do not lose any of these quality talents for nothing in free agency. If it comes down to a trade, swapping for Simmons is their best move. Simmons is a dream fit in Golden State. He's essentially Draymond Green 2.0 with more of an offensive punch and fresh legs on defense. Though he lacks the leadership skills, Simmons is about as close to a Dre replacement as you were going to get. It helps that he's only 26 years old, the perfect age to pair with the Dubs' existing stars and young prospects. And when you look at Ben Simmons and you evaluate his trade value. It's at an all-time low right now. And the group chat controversy has certainly peaked Ben Simmons. In case you missed it, Rick Bucher had reported that the Nets wanted Ben Simmons to play in Game 4 of that first-round series against the Boston Celtics. Ben Simmons didn't want to, and then he left the Nets group chat. But Shams Charania said on the Pat McAfee show that, in fact, was not true. Let me go back to what Blue Man Hoop Group said, though, about Ben Simmons being a logical replacement for Draymond Green. When you think about the skill set, maybe. Ben Simmons was a first-team All-Defender 2 years ago. He has special passing ability, like Draymond, defensive ability, like Draymond, positional versatility, like Draymond. But what Draymond brings to the table is what Ben Simmons has never been able to bring to the table. Accountability, the willingness to rise up in the biggest of moments, to make his teammates better, to play team basketball, and most importantly, Draymond has that dog. Ben Simmons, he doesn't have that dog at all. Now make sure you subscribe to us here on Warriors Today by Chat Sports, the best news, rumors, breakdowns, and analysis. And this is a channel that continues to grow, the most watched Warriors channel on YouTube. So join the Dub Nation family here by hitting that red sub button down below, or you see that subscription link. It's youtube.com/WarriorsTV. As for the numbers for Simmons, seasons played, didn't play last year, and then in case you missed it, he missed his rookie year, in case you forgot about it as well. But when he's been on the floor, special player, no question about that, outside of the lack of jump shot. Career averages, 16 points per game, 8 rebounds, nearly 8 dimes, about 2 steals, and he's going to give you about a block per night. When I say that Ben Simmons is one of the best defenders in the NBA, he is, and he does put forward effort on that end of the floor, and he does give you a lot of defensive intangibles that Draymond Green brings to the table, but I can't count on Ben Simmons, and in a championship atmosphere, I don't want to sacrifice that. I'm holding on to Dre. I'd rather pay him than paying Ben Simmons, who's also on a max contract as well. If you hate that trade idea, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Boop, already beat you to it. Hit that thumbs up icon myself because I hate the trade idea. If you're with me, then get with me right now. We do have a great sale and a great deal that we want to tell you about here on today's show, thanks to our friends at Fanatics. If you head to chatsports.com/Warriors deal, you get really good deal on this pullover package here. Blue pullover as well as a gray pullover. 30% off if you head to chatsports.com/Warriors deal. I'm going to put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. I understand that in many regions in which you're watching from, it's summertime. But fall is coming up around the corner because football is basically here. That means that those colder months are going to come up upon us as well. So you got to stay warm with this pullover right here. Chatsports.com/Warriors deal. Get hooked up today. We want to round out the show with this. Should the Warriors sign Trevor Ariza? Now, yesterday we talked about Dwight Howard. Today we're talking about Trevor Ariza, also who played for the Lakers last year. There are a reason and reasons why there are many Lakers available on the free agency market from last year's team. They sucked. ESPN's Bobby Marks suggesting that the Warriors should add Trevor Ariza if Andre Iguodala retires. The idea sounds okay, but honestly, Ariza last year, he didn't bring much to the table. But if Iguodala does leave, you could look to replace him with another veteran out there who has played a lot. And Trevor Ariza has been around the block for a long time. You look at his last 4 years, though, the production has gone downhill a little bit. Last year, played 19 minutes per game for the Lakers. That's a crime. That goes to show you how bad they were. Season before that, 9.5 points per game with the Miami Heat. 2019-20 with the Kings and Blazers, 8 points per game. He can give you a 3-point threat, but last year, 27% from distance. But this is an older player who looked washed last year, who doesn't look primed to join a championship-level team to give you a few minutes per night. I think there are better options out there, maybe even fresher legs than a guy like Trevor Ariza. So what do you think? You want Ariza? Do you want a different player? Name a player that the Dubs should sign before the season. Training camp coming up in September, regular season right after that. As always, thank you so much for making Warriors Today a part of your day. Chime into the comment section. Most importantly, subscribe.